Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? Joey Chickenbach is back here with another video for you guys. As you guys know, it is Saturday night, so I'm going to be giving you my game picks for Week 2 of the 2020 NFL season. So, as you guys know, could not make a video on Thursday because, for Thursday Night Football because of school responsibilities. So, pretty exciting game. I wasn't expecting it to be that close, but it actually was. Browns won 35-30. That was a pretty exciting game. Burrow played well. Mayfield did better, at least. So we'll see what happens. But that was a pretty exciting game. So as I said, if I can't make a video, I'm going to tweet it out on my Twitter page. You guys can follow me at JShickenbach1. I'll tweet out my game pick if I'm unable to make a video. So, without further ado, let's jump right on into these Sunday games, including Monday night. So, first game, we have the 0-1 49ers at the 0-1 Jets. So the Niners, tough loss to the Cardinals in Week 1. Jets kind of got manhandled by the Bills. Showed a little comeback at the end, but the Bills dominated the game. At the same time, though, the Niners are without George Kittle, and Richard Sherman is now on IR, so they're without Richard Sherman as well. But at the same time, I'm not very high on the Jets either. I always have thought Darnold's overhyped. He's just really not that good. And I'm telling you guys, I know I'm biased because I'm a Ravens fan, but if Darnold keeps playing the way he's playing, don't be surprised to see Flacco come in. Darnold could easily get benched. But at the same time, you never hope someone gets benched. But regardless, Jets don't look very good right now. Injuries have just destroyed them. Owasu's hurt. I'm pretty sure Mosley's hurt. So yeah, injuries are a big issue for the Jets. But at the same time, they're not helping the Niners either. But I think the Niners are the overall better team here. Although it's in New York, I don't really see any reason to go with the Jets just because they're a flat-out bad team. So I'm going to take the Niners here, guys, 27-17. Next game, guys, we have the 1-0 Bills at the 0-1 Dolphins. So, as I was saying, Bills beat the Jets pretty easily in Week 1 last weekend. Dolphins took a loss to the Patriots, a rematch from Week 17 of last year where they stunned them. So, I think in general, this could be a decent game. Obviously, it's in Miami, so anything is possible. Obviously, the road team usually doesn't play as well, and I think in general, Josh Allen plays especially worse on the road. So, that being said, it opens the door for the Dolphins to make something happen. But at the same time, Josh Allen is coming off a really big game. I know it was against the Jets, but he's coming off a big game. And I think that Allen should continue to get better and better. And although the Dolphins got some upgrades on defense, I don't think they're just that good of a team. And the Bills, again, have a great defense. So I'm going to take the Bills here. I think it might be closer than people are saying, but I'm going to take the Bills here, guys. Let's go Bills, 30-21. Even though they're on the road, I'm taking Buffalo. Next game, guys, we have the 0-1 Broncos at the 1-0 Steelers. So, Steelers coming off a 26-16, I want to say, win over the Giants on Monday night. Broncos coming off a tough loss to Tennessee, man. That was a really tough loss. Their defense played well. Derrick Henry was not the reason they lost that game. It was because their offense really struggled, and and Gostowski had a 25-yard field goal. At the same time, it probably should not have been that as close as it was, because I think Gostowski, the Titans kicker, missed like 4 field goals because he's trash. But regardless, guys, tough loss for the Broncos, but they held in there. They hung in there, I should say. So it was a good one. But I don't think this game's going to be that close. First of all, Drew Lock was a huge disappointment. And I shouldn't say a huge, but he was not that good against the Titans defense. And the Titans defense is not even that good. Meanwhile, the Steelers probably have the best defense in the league. So this is not going to be a good game for Drew Lock. And I'm not sure if Cortland Sutton is playing. If I think he sprained something, I don't know. Sutton might be hurt. So if they don't have Cortland Sutton, they're absolutely screwed. The only way I can really see the Broncos winning this game is to play lockdown defense. The good thing is the Steelers' offense is still not very good, and the Broncos do have a pretty good defense. So it's possible, but I don't see the Broncos doing essentially anything on offense against the Steelers' defense. The Steelers, they have everything, man. Their pass rush is incredible. And their secondary is good enough. They have Micah Fitzpatrick, obviously. Joe Hayden's quite good. Steven Nelson's very good. But yeah, it's solid. A solid secondary, but one of the best front sevens in the league. So, Steelers, great all-around team. And as along with it being in Pittsburgh, I don't really see why this is going to be very close. So I'm going to take the Steelers here, guys. I think Luck's going to fight in there. I think it's going to be close at halftime, and the Steelers are going to run away with it in the second half. So I'm going to go with the Steelers here, guys, 31-17. Next game, guys, we have the 0-1 Falcons at the 0-1 Cowboys. Falcons kind of took a beating from the Seahawks last week. Cowboys took a close loss to the Rams. Guys, I don't know. I just have this feeling. I am thinking a Falcons upset win here. For whatever reason, the Falcons always beat the Cowboys. They beat them in 2015, and they beat them, I want to say, was it 2016 or 2017, where Adrian Claiborne had like 6 sacks or something. It was incredible. I think the Falcons are going to pull off the upset here. I'm telling you guys, the Cowboys are just not simply, I shouldn't say they're not that good, but their offense, I feel like, continues to get worse and worse, especially their offensive line. I feel like every year they lose an offensive line. It used to be literally an all-time offensive line because they had, at one point, at their best time, they had Tyron Smith, Ronald Leary, Travis Frederick, and Zach Martin. I mean, that was just invincible. The Cowboys' offensive line was literally godly a few years ago. But again, every single year, they lose a guy. They lost Ronald Leary first, and a couple of years later, and now they lose Travis Frederick, who retired. So their line it's not bad. They have Tyron Smith and Zach Martin, but it does seem to be getting worse and worse. And they still have a mediocre quarterback, guys. I still think Prescott's just simply not that good. But at the same time, they do have Ezekiel Elliott, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb. Their offense is good. Defense is looking a little sus, and now that I think of it, Leighton Vander Esch is hurt, I'm pretty sure. So Leighton Vander Esch is not going to be playing. So their defense is not looking great right now. They still have DeMarcus Lawrence, and Jalen Smith, I think is his name. But defense is not great. And the Falcons have Julio Jones, and the Cowboys secondary is not very good besides Jeff Heath. So, I am taking the Falcons on the road to upset the Cowboys here. You can call me crazy, but I'm going to take the Falcons here in a sloppy win, 23-17. Next game, guys, we have the 0-1 Giants at the 1-0 Bears. Giants took a beating from the Steelers. Offense got manhandled. Bears, really close win against the Lions last week, and to be honest, they should have lost. Who was it? Someone dropped an easy touchdown pass. I don't know who it was, but for the Lions, someone dropped an easy touchdown pass. It should have been caught, and it was just simply dropped. I think it was Kerryon Johnson, Kenny Galladay? I don't know. But they probably should have lost to the Lions in week 1, the Bears, but they got the win. But at the same time, a lot of bright sides came out of that game. Trubisky actually played decently well. I know the Lions defense is trash, but Trubisky did not play badly. Again, he actually played pretty well. There was talk this week about Allen Robinson. Apparently, he deleted all his social media interactions with the Bears and unfollowed everyone on Twitter for the Bears. But now he's back, so there was talk about him being traded. I don't think he's going to be at least this year. So Allen Robinson is still there. Bears do have a great defense. Giants have a terrible Actually, I shouldn't say that. The Giants' offense is better than their defense, but the biggest issue with the Giants is their offensive line is just so bad, man. I was watching the Steelers-Giants game, and I know the Steelers' defensive line is incredible, but literally, Daniel Jones was pressured every single play. The Steelers only had to rush 3 or 4, and he was in trouble every play. It was ridiculous. So, that being said, Giants are a trash team. Their defense is terrible as well. Bears coming up a close win at home. Not going to be that close here, guys. I'm going to take the Bears here, 27-13. Next game, guys. Can't believe I'm saying this, but we have the 1-0 Jaguars at the 1-0 Titans. Jaguars coming off a rather surprising win against the Colts in week 1, last weekend, whatever. Titans, as I said, close win against the Broncos. It was a slugfest, but they pulled it out. And again, the Jaguars surprised me, I'll admit, but they're not beating the Titans. The Jaguars, again, they're in full rebuild mode, and they have pieces on offense, but I'm trying to go through the list. Who do they have on defense? I mean, I don't know if Miles Jack is still there. I think he actually might be, but he has injury issues. I don't even know if Elvin Smith is allowed to play. He got arrested last year or something, so I don't know if he's allowed to play. And of course, traded away Calais Campbell, traded away Yannick Ngakoue, traded away Jalen Ramsey. So yeah, they've traded all of their big defensive guys away. So the Jaguars' defense is trash, and they have to face Derrick Henry. And as much as I think Henry's overrated, it's not going to be pretty much any contest here. They're going to feed Henry like so much, and he's going to destroy them. So, guys, I know the Jaguars had a nice win in week 1, but I don't see them coming into Tennessee and winning. So I'm going to take the Titans here, guys, 34-17. Next game, guys, we have the 0-1 Lions at the 1-0 Packers. So, Lions, again, very tough loss last weekend to the Bears. Probably should have won if it wasn't for the drop touchdown pass. 1-0 Packers. Packers coming off a big week 1 victory, man. Aaron Rodgers popping off. Absolutely popping off against a pretty good Vikings defense. Rodgers absolutely tore him up. And I told you guys from the start of this year, this is going to be an MVP year for Rodgers. I don't know if he's going to win MVP, but it's going to be an MVP caliber season. Packers are winning the Super Bowl, and then everything's going to change. Rodgers is going to start to fall off the rails. Jordan Love time. But this is Rodgers' year, guys. This is the Packers' year. And I'm telling you, the main reason why, another year in LaFleur's system. Devontae Adams, I mean, I'm not going to say he's old. His age ticks up, but I kind of feel like Adams gets better and better every year. And he popped off with Aaron Rodgers last weekend, too. He killed the Vikings defense. I know the Vikings secondary is kind of trash besides Harrison Smith, but still, the Devontae Adams is very, very good. And again, did very well last weekend against the very good Vikings defense. A little bit inconsistent for the Vikings defense, but it is what it is. And I continue to believe the Packers have one of the most underrated defenses in the league, man. Their front seven is so underrated, man. Kenny Clark, Zadarius Smith, and Preston Smith. That edge rushing group is absolutely dirty. Kenny Clark is very good as long as he stays healthy. Secondary does worry me a little bit. I mean, Jair Alexander's okay, might be a tad overrated. Kevin King's kind of meh. Jamal Williams is incredibly meh. So, again, their secondary in general is not great. But, again, when it comes to winning games, front seven is more important, and that's what the Packers have. They have a great front seven, so I definitely think the Packers are going to take this one. And, again, you know how much I love Matthew Stafford and the Lions, but I don't think this game's going to be that close. Packers are at home. I'm going to take the Packers here, guys. 41-20. Again, don't think it's going to be close. I expect another big game from Aaron Rodgers. And, again, Rodgers had, almost 400 yards passing last week and 4 touchdowns. Again, popped off. Next game, guys, we have the 0-1 Panthers at the 0-1 Bucks. Panthers taking a tough loss to the Raiders last weekend. It was a very close game. Bucks taking a loss from the Saints with Tom Brady and everything. Panthers put up a big fight against the Raiders, but the Bucks have just such a great all-around team, man. Brady, obviously. But at the same time, if I recall correctly, I don't think Chris Godwin is playing. I think he's in the concussion protocol, so he will not be playing. So no Chris Godwin. I'm pretty sure Mike Evans is active. And as I was saying, the Bucks have probably the best front seven in the league. Vita Vea and Ndamukong Suh, Shaquille Barrett, Jason Pierre-Paul, Devin White, Levante David. Their front seven is ridiculous on defense. Secondary is kind of trash, but that's just tough luck, I guess. And again, the Bucks' offense is dynamic with Brady, Evans, I shouldn't say Godwin because he's not going to be playing, and a decent enough offensive line. But regardless, guys, although Brady did not have a great debut, that was against the Saints. And although they don't have a great defense, it's significantly better than the Panthers' defense. The Panthers have no one. They lost James Bradbury, obviously lost Luke Kuechly because he retired. So the Panthers' defense is trash. Bucks are at home. I don't think this game's going to be that close. I'm going to take the Bucks here, guys. 31-10. Again, not going to be very close. Next game, guys, we have the 1-0 Rams at the 0-1 Eagles. Eagles taking a beating from the I want to say Redskins, but no, from the Washington football team last weekend. Man, that game was it was not a massacre. The Eagles got off to a hot start, but then the football team kind of dominated the rest of the game. I was really shocked to see that happen, but the Eagles just did not play well. Wentz didn't play very well. The Eagles took a tough loss, man. So, that being said, anything's possible here. But seeing the way the Rams played against the Cowboys last weekend, I really like what I've seen. And I'm telling you guys, Jared Goff is so underrated. And I know he does not exactly drive the ball downfield that much, but still, he played pretty well against a decent enough Cowboys defense. They run a lot of bootlegs, and the Eagles defense continues to be a little sus. I mean, they have Nigel Bradham, Fletcher Cox, obviously, but the Eagles defense is not very good all around. They have pieces, but it's not very good all around. Offense, still have a great offensive line. Jason Peters, Brandon Brooks, who's hurt, I believe, Lane Johnson. Their line's good. And Jason Kelsey at center, but he might be hurt as well. But at the same time, Wentz is he's too inconsistent, man. I think Wentz is very, very good, but again, too inconsistent. Rams defense is not great either. They do have Aaron Donald, but I actually think the Rams defense was better last weekend than it was last year. They played decently well against the Cowboys offense. And although it's in Philadelphia, guys, I think the Rams are the better team all around, and I'm going to take the Rams here. I don't know, it's not really an upset, but I'm going to take the Rams over the Eagles here, even though they're on the road. I'm going to take the Rams in a sloppy game, 17-13 Rams. Again, sloppy game, unexpectedly low score. All right, next game, I got a little off task here. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. We have the Vikings at the Colts. Vikings taking a tough loss to the Packers last weekend. Defense got totally roughed up. Both teams taking tough losses. Colts, tough loss taking into the Jaguars. Let's see here. So, I would say that the Colts are going to pull this one out. Just because, again, the better all-around team. Decent defense. I mean, Darius Leonard, Kenny Moore. Their defense is okay. Offensively, have probably the best offensive line in the league. Quentin Nelson, Anthony Costanzo, Ryan Kelly. Their line's insane. Bad quarterback, of course, in Phillip Rivers. At the same time, though, I'm pretty sure Marlon Mack, tore his Achilles or something, so Mack's out for the year, I believe. So no Marlon Mack. Receivers are still really lacking. T.Y. Hilton is way too inconsistent, so the Colts are not great. Vikings aren't great either, though. Their defense is too inconsistent. They do have Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson. Line is still trash. They do have Dalvin Cook, but the Vikings are, now that I think about it, the Vikings are not that good either. And I think the Colts seem to be really good when they're at home. It's hard to go into Indianapolis and win. So I'm going to take the Colts here, guys. I think they're going to have a little bounce back win. And I think they're going to beat the Vikings here 24-17. It's going to be a close game, but I'm taking the Colts. Okay. So I think we're ready to move on to our late games. Just want to make sure I covered up every single 1 o'clock game Eastern time tomorrow. And I believe I did. I did Giants-Bears. Yep. Okay. So this is our 4:05 game Eastern time, guys. We have the Washington football team at the Arizona Cardinals. So Cardinals, I was surprised, but, I was proven wrong. They beat the Niners last weekend, 24-20. Football team surprised me as well, beat the Eagles. So both teams coming off surprising victories. So the Cardinals, again, big win. And the Washington football team has a terrible defense besides, I guess Chase Young. He did look decent in his debut. But the Redskins the football team is simply not very good. Although they had a nice win against the Eagles, they are, again, not a good all-around team whatsoever. Arizona, I shouldn't say they're great all-around. Their offense is good. Their defense is trash besides Chandler Jones. And I guess Pat Pete's okay. But, Cardinals, I'm really looking forward to see how their offense builds. Fitzgerald's not great anymore, he's old, but they do have, of course, DeAndre Hopkins, arguably the best wide receiver in the league, Kyler Murray, who continues to get better and better, the way I see it, and Christian Kirk. So, Cardinals offense looks fire. And I don't see them being at home after going into San Francisco and beating the Niners. I don't see any reason why the football team is going to go into Arizona and win. So that being said, guys, I'm going to take the Cardinals here. They have all the momentum right now. I'm going to take the Cardinals 27-14. Next game, guys, this is going to be the televised game. It should be a pretty good one. Chiefs at the Chargers. So 1-0 Chiefs at 1-0 Chargers, and I think I forgot this for the last one. 0-1 Vikings at 0-1 Colts, and now we have for the football team and Cardinals 1-0 at 1-0. So yeah, 1-0 Chiefs at 1-0 Chargers. Obviously, the Chargers game was sloppy. They didn't play very well, but a win is a win. Chiefs dominated the Texans, got off to a little bit of a cool start, but as you know, the Chiefs have a habit of getting off to cool starts, and then Mahomes just goes on a tear. Mahomes is probably the best in the second quarter. Well, second quarter Mahomes is essentially unstoppable. For whatever reason, he is absolute fire, especially in the second quarter. It is in LA, though. And I feel like a lot of people are trying to say, oh, this is not going to be close. I actually do think it's going to be close because the Chargers always give the Chiefs a hard time. Let's flash back to last year. The Chargers were like 5-11. Chiefs were 11-4, ended up going 12-4, I believe. It was week 17. The Chargers had the lead going into the half. It was like 14-10. They forced Mahomes to throw a pick. The Chargers, it was at Arrowhead too. The Chargers always give the Chiefs a hard time. And last year, when the game was played in LA, they gave the Chiefs a hard time also. So, Chargers always give the Chiefs a hard time. So that being said, this is going to be a close game. Although the Chargers are a little bit banged up, of course, no Derwin James because of his season-ending injury. But offense, Tyrod Taylor is not very good, but they still have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams if he's active. Offensive line's meh, but they also have Austin Eckler. But at the same time, the Chiefs' defense, I think, continues to get better and better. It's a little bit inconsistent, but I think it's going to play well. And I think this is going to be a close game. But at the same time, if I'm debating, it's going against Patrick Mahomes is never a good idea, especially at this point in his career. So I'm going to take the Chiefs here on the road to beat the Chargers. It's going to be close, but I'm going to take the Chiefs 24-21. Chargers are going to try and drive down the field with like a few seconds left, but they're going to fall short. So Chiefs 24-21. Next game, guys, here we go. Ravens late this time. 1-0 Ravens at the 0-1 Texans. So, Ravens coming off a dominating win over the Browns last weekend. Texans taking a pretty big beating from the Chiefs on last Thursday. So, again, this is similar to the Chiefs-Chargers game. I feel like a lot of people are trying to say that the Ravens are going to dominate, and I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be a very close game. But if we look at the circumstances, the Ravens are most certainly the better all-around team. We'll just go by grouping here. Better defensive line, way better secondary. Linebackers are actually kind of close because they do have Whitney Merciless, but they also have Brennan Scarlett, the Texans, who's incredibly underrated. But linebackers, I'll give to Baltimore. Quarterback, Baltimore. Offensive line, Baltimore. Receivers, I'll give to the Texans. But that's still like 4 or 5-1. So the Ravens are the better all-around team here. And although the last time the Texans played the Ravens, it was an absolute massacre. First of all, that was in Baltimore, and I think it was also because the Ravens were just red hot and no one could stop them. And at the same time, last time the Ravens did not have to face J.J. Watt. He was hurt. Watt is playing now. I know Watt is beat up and obviously... Alright guys, we're back here. Sorry, I had a little technology difficulty. So, as I was saying, so J.J. Watt, again, over the hill, but he is still a threat. And I think with the way the Ravens' offensive line is built, I think Stanley is going to be playing. He had a little injury issue last week, but I think he's going to be active. But they're going to put Watt on the interior, I think. And I always worry about him getting to the quarterback and messing stuff up. So I'll hope that the Ravens can contain him. And I think we'll do pretty well on defense. Calais Campbell, too, I think should have a big game because he used to play on the Jaguars, who are in the Texans division. So Campbell knows the Texans very well. So I do think Calais Campbell will have a big game. And again, the Texans' offensive line is not very good besides Laramie Tunsil. So, Ravens, better team here. I'm going to take Baltimore. I think it's going to be low scoring, more surprisingly low scoring, not as high scoring as people are going to say. I'm going to take Baltimore here, guys. 24-17. I think the Ravens are going to have the lead. Texans are going to try for a late fourth quarter comeback, and they're going to fall short. So Ravens, 24-17. Now, guys, we move on to our Sunday night football game. This is going to be a good one. 1-0 Patriots at the 1-0 Seahawks. So Patriots coming off a nice win against the Dolphins last week. Seahawks coming off a nice win against the Falcons. So Patriots, obviously, with Cam Newton, still the same defense, at least in the secondary. Losing weapons on the front seven, Dante Hightower, Kyle Van Noy, J.B. Collins, you know the drill. Seahawks obviously now have Jamal Adams, who's always a huge threat. Bobby Wagner, I don't know if they still have KJ Wright. Obviously no more Jadeveon Clowney. But Seahawks are a great offense. Russell Wilson coming off a huge game against the Falcons last weekend. I know the Falcons' defense is trash, but still. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. So the Seahawks offense is looking great. And again, Russell Wilson is insane. So, always like to see that. And again, I know going against Belichick is never a good idea. But Patriots at Seahawks, Patriots are starting a tough schedule road. They had an easy win at home against the Dolphins. Going into Seattle, having to play a top 2 quarterback in Russell Wilson. I know Belichick is a genius, but I'm going to take the Seahawks here. I think they're a better all-around team, and I do think the Seahawks are going to take this one. And again, the biggest thing is being at home. I know with no fans, it doesn't really matter that much, but traveling and everything, winning at Gillette's really hard. Winning at Seattle's really hard too. So I'm going to take the Seahawks here, guys. It's going to be close. I'm going to go Seahawks 27-21. Last game, guys, we have the 1-0 Saints at the 1-0 Raiders. Raiders, again, coming off a close win of the Panthers last week. Saints coming off a runaway win against the Bucks. So, Saints, though, big weapon taken out. Michael Thomas has like a high ankle sprain. He will not be playing. So no Michael Thomas. That's a big hit. Still have Breeze, still have Kamara, still have a solid defense. Raiders, though, again, as I said, the Raiders may not look good on paper, but they always get the job done with not much to work with. So I never like to go against the Raiders. But at the same time, although it is in Las Vegas here, I am going to take the Saints. Just because, again, better all-around team. And I do think that the Raiders' defense is kind of trash. So I don't really see them stopping that offense. I know it takes a big hit with no Michael Thomas, but the Saints also have a pretty good offensive line, at least their exterior line. And Kamara, I think, is starting to come back in a full swing. So I am going to take the Saints here, guys. I think that when it comes to who gets out on top and the Saints getting off to a hot start, I think the Raiders might get off to a quick start, but the Saints are going to dial in. Breeze is going to deliver, and I'm going to take the Saints here on the road to beat the Raiders. We're going to go Saints 28-24. I do think it's going to be a relatively close game, but I'm going to go Saints 28-24. And guys, that's going to do it for my game picks for Week 2 of the 2020 NFL season. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to drop a like in the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I am out. Peace out, have a great day, and thank you so much for watching. Go Ravens.